Today, I want to talk about confidence and I want to give you guys some tips. I want to give you guys 10 tips on how to help your kids build confidence at the plate and just in life in general, right? Because I know it's hard to see kids struggle with confidence. Sometimes we feel helpless when that happens. But one of the biggest things that we could do as parents and as coaches is to help them build their confidence. Confidence is something that comes from within. So it's ultimately up to the player to feel confident. But there is a lot that we can do to help them build their confidence and help them deal with failure. We can't get inside their heads, but we can do is you have to remember this. The way that we talk to our children becomes their inner voice. Okay, so let me say that again. The way that we talk to our children becomes their inner voice. And I'm not saying talking about what they said, what we say. I'm talking about the way we say it when they make a mistake or when they fail in life. How do we respond to those failures? Right. So confidence starts from at home. It doesn't start on the ball field. Like confidence on the field starts with confidence at home. So forget the ball field at first. Let's go to the root. Confidence starts with us as parents and as coaches. It starts at home, right? So how do you talk to your kids at home when they're fail at home or when they struggle or, with chores or with school or with homework or, with friends? Are you coming down on your kids every time they make a mistake at home? Coming down on them if they don't get their homework done? Or if they, fail a test, are you coming down on them? Because that's going to be their inner voice, right? How you respond to them is going to be their inner voice. So, and you also got to remember that the things that are so obvious to us are not obvious to kids, right? And sometimes as parents and as adults, we forget that. We forget that we've lived that. We've learned that. We've made those mistakes and we know. And then we get frustrated at the kids for not knowing that. When why should they? They're kids. Yeah, for somebody who's never done it before, how are they supposed to know? So we got to remember that as adults and as parents that they've never done that before. And it is hard sometimes to be like, it's just so simple. That's just such an easy idea, such an easy thought. But to us, to us it is, right? But not to them because they've never gone through that before, right? So yeah, so now I want to give you 10 tips on how to help you build your kids' confidence. So number one is celebrate effort, not results. Working hard in the cage, working hard in the garage, doing their homework, doing their chores, right? When they do their chores, do you say like nothing and then come down on them when they don't do them? Do they feel like unseen and not celebrated for doing the things that you told them to do? But then when they don't do them, that's when you attack them, right? So you got to really be aware of that, right? Because little things that you told them to do and they do them, but then they get no recognition for it. They get grounded or yelled at when they don't do them, right? So you got to make sure that we celebrate the effort that they do and know that they are trying, right? So tip number two is also celebrate the achievements, right? Big and small. Like I said, like doing their chores. Like thank you for unloading the dishwasher. That was awesome. Like thank you for mowing the lawn. Little things like that. Doing their homework on time, right? Celebrate all these things. Doing well in school when they get good grades, like celebrate it. Celebrate the effort and then also celebrate the achievements, not just coming down on the failures, right? And same thing with baseball. Celebrate the small victories, right? If they go to a game and they go 0 for 4, but they hit a bunch of hard line drives, let's celebrate that. That's awesome, right? Those easily could have dropped and you could have went 4 for 4, right? Or maybe they struck out and they were right on the pitcher. They put on some good swings, but maybe just missed the ball. Celebrate that. Maybe they laid off some curveballs in the dirt, right? Maybe they had really good plate awareness and they just missed a couple pitches and grounded out 4 times or whatever, right? So it's just celebrating the small victories, right? It's not always just did they get a hit, right? Maybe a kid could go 0 for 4 with 4 lazy bloops right over the shortstop, and a kid goes 0 for 4 with 4 rockets right up the middle, right? Who do you think is really more successful, right? The kid who went 0 for 4 with 4 line drives, right? Because, the more you do it, the more you continue to do that, the more successful you're going to be in the long run. But if you're getting away with little duck farts over second base and then you call that success, like, yeah, it looks good on paper, but does that make you a better hitter? It's celebrating the small victories, right? Tip number three is get them to set some goals that can be measured. I talked a little bit about this at the master class is how important it is to set goals. You want to hit more line drives. You want to increase your exit velocity, increase your throwing velocity, make the all-star team, make the travel team. If they achieve them, celebrate it, right? And if they don't, let's reevaluate the actions that they took to try to achieve those goals, and then we can learn from them, right? So setting goals could be at any age. It doesn't have to be huge, just little, like little daily goals. Maybe I want to hit the cage, hit the cage 4 times this week. And then they do. It's like, hey, really good job. You want to hit the cage 4 times this week and you did it every single time. Super proud of you. Little things like that. Like get themselves set goals, celebrate those goals. Tip number 4 is encourage independence and problem solving skills. So, as parents, we want to help. We see our kids struggle, and the first thing we want to do is help them because we don't like to see them struggle. We don't want to see them in pain. We want to help them as much as we can. But sometimes that can be more damaging than good. We could be crippling them more than we're helping them, right? But if they can learn to solve a problem on their own, they will start to believe that they can do hard things. But if every time they get to a problem and, mom and dad are there to jump on it and solve the problem for them, they're not going to feel confident enough to attack hard things. So when they face adversity, they don't know how to face it because every time something's hard has happened to them, they got rescued, right? Just a small example, like my son, he's like 2, just taking off his boots, right? And he struggles. And as much as I want to just like, okay, I'll do it for you. Like I help him through it, like show you this is how you do it. And then you let him do it. And like little things like that are going to go such a long way. Because if every time he struggles with his boots, he just like starts kicking and screaming, and I pull off his boots. Now, anytime things gets hard, he's not going to have the confidence to do it himself. But if he does hard things, he's going to feel confident and believe in himself that he can do hard things, no matter what it is. Even if it is something as simple as taking off your boots or unzipping your jacket or little things like that. That's where it starts, right? That's where confidence starts. It doesn't start when they get into the box, right? It starts at home with little things like that and self-belief. Like that's what confidence is like believing that you can do it. So we have to instill that self-belief in our kids that they can do anything. And we have to believe it too, right? And yeah, just jumping on the last thing, like even though we have all the answers, sometimes we have to let them learn on their own, right? I want to take off your boots for them because I can do it easy, but it's not going to help you, right? Tip number 5, constructive criticism, right? It's not always the things that we say. A lot of times it's how we say it, right? The tonality of what we say. One way we could say one thing that could be like kind and motivating. We could say the exact same thing and it could sound like harsh and negative because maybe we raise our voice or we talk a little bit harder. And kind of jumping back to their inner voice, when they fail, they're going to hear that tonality in their head when they do something wrong or when they're facing adversity, because that's going to be their inner voice, right? So constructive criticism, right? Even if they do something wrong, you got to be constructive about it and not always like attack it. Tip number 6, positive self-talk. I'm really big on positive affirmations, right? What affirmations are, they're just any positive statement that resonates with you. Positive affirmations like, I am strong, I am enough, I am beautiful, especially for those of you who have daughters, you want them to really tell themselves that they're beautiful and believe in that self-love, not just say it, right? So positive affirmations are huge. Basically, affirmations are just like building yourself up, pumping your own tires. And I know some people look at affirmations as like cocky or braggy, saying like, I am strong, I am beautiful. It's not. It's just, pumping your own tires and getting you to believe in yourself. And self-belief is huge. Self-love is huge. And the more you say it, the more you believe it, the more likely it's going to come true. I practice affirmations all the time. Every day I have a journal and I write down things I'm grateful for and I write down affirmations. And sometimes they're just like, I'm strong, I'm powerful, things like that. So one of my affirmations is I want to be the #1 baseball coach on social media. And I believe that I can do that. That's not like me being cocky or braggy. It's like the more you say it, the more you believe it, the more likely it'll come true. For those of you who don't know, I'm also a personal trainer and I work with a lot of busy moms. A little backstory on that and why I became a personal trainer and why I work with busy moms is because my mom passed away 2 years ago at 57. She struggled with her weight for her whole life, and I watched her struggle with her weight for her whole life. And then, she tried everything. And when she passed away at 57, like I made it my mission in life to help busy moms like her, get healthy, feel good, and live a long, healthy life, not just for themselves, but for their kids, right? Um, sorry. Oh, did not expect to go this way, but um, that's why I do it, right? So I do it for her, and part of the affirmation that I tell myself is I want to be the number one coach for busy moms in the world. Because of that. I do it for her, and having that affirmation just helps you believe in yourself that it's possible for you, right? And one of my affirmations is I'm going to change the world. With that, because people who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world are the ones that do. And I truly believe that. So affirmations are super, super helpful. The more you say it, the more you believe it, the more likely it's going to come true. I have like financial affirmations too. Like I want to make X amount of dollars, different personal goals. I want to have a six pack by this, whatever, like affirmations, goals, things like that is all super, super powerful, especially for kids, right? Get them to look in the mirror, tell them they're beautiful, that they're strong, that they can do anything. That is going to help them. Tip number 7 is talk to them. Be open and vulnerable with your struggles. Provide a safe and supportive environment and let them know that it's okay to make a mistake, right? Because we all make mistakes, right? Let them know about your mistakes. Let them know how you overcame them. And be really open with them and have that open line of communication where they can feel comfortable and safe to come talk to you when they're struggling with things. Because a lot of people they don't feel like they can talk to their parents in that way, where if they are struggling with something, they don't feel like they can talk to their parents, but you want to talk to them and be open and vulnerable. And that's how you're going to get them to really open up with you, is if you open up with them. And that leads me to tip number 8. Be open about failure, right? Help them understand that failing is a part of the process. Everybody fails. Every successful person fails. But there's a difference between failing and being a failure, right? Because failing is failing, but failures fail and then quit. But successful people fail, learn from each failure, and then try again and repeat that over and over until they succeed, right? Everybody's going to fail. So you have to let them know that, hey, failing is just part of success. It's in the recipe for success. Nobody has gotten to where they are without failing at something along the line. You can't be successful without failure. Tip number 9, how to help kids build confidence. Be social. Help encourage kids to interact with others and help them develop those social skills, because positive interaction can help build confidence. So that if they are used to being around new kids all the time, when they get into that team atmosphere, they're more prepared. They have more confidence to be open and talk to other players, which can help them be more comfortable. And the more comfortable you are, the more confident you're going to be in that scenario when you get to the games. And last but not least, number 10, model confidence yourself. You have to be confident in yourself. Kids are going to watch your feet, not your lips. They're going to do what you do, not what you say. So you can tell your kids to be comfortable and confident in their own skin all you want. If you don't feel that way, they're going to see right through you. They're not stupid, they're smart. And just kind of jumping back to me being an online fitness coach, I talk to that to my clients all the time. It's like, do you have, a son or a daughter? Yeah. Okay, well, how would you feel if they had the same self-confidence and the same self-love as you do? They're like, well, that would break my heart. It's like, well, that's what's going to happen unless you don't build up your own confidence in yourself and believe in yourself that you can do hard things, right? So, not just about like weight, weight loss or anything like that, just being comfortable and confident in everything. But a lot of times it starts with how you look is where usually it stems from with parents, right? So be a leader, lead by example, model confidence yourself, in all areas of your life, and then that will help them, follow in your footsteps. So those are my top 10 tips on how to help your kids become more confident. So